More than 1,400 people have been killed and 3,000 injured in eastern Afghanistan after a devastating earthquake.
Belgium will recognize a Palestinian state at the United Nations General Assembly and place sanctions on the Israeli government for its conduct in Gaza.
More than 1,400 people have been killed and 3,000 injured in eastern Afghanistan after a devastating quake. The 6.0 magnitude earthquake rocked the towns in the province of Kunar near the city of Jalalabad and neighbouring Nangarhar. With much of the region affected lying in remote, inhospitable terrain, officials have warned the death toll may rise significantly as emergency teams struggle to gain access. The Afghan Red Crescent put the confirmed death toll at 825 as of Monday afternoon and reported widespread damage to property and infrastructure. A government spokesperson quoted by local media put the figures at 812 dead and some 2,500 injured. It's not the first time a deadly earthquake has struck Afghanistan. In 2023, a 6.3 magnitude quake killed thousands as it hit the region.
Belgium will recognize a Palestinian state at the United Nations General Assembly next week. Belgian Foreign Minister Maxime Prévost made the announcement in a post on X, adding that sanctions will also be imposed on the Israeli government. The decision averted a government crisis triggered by disagreements between parties about implementing harsher measures against Israel over its conduct in Gaza.
Ik begrijp zeer goed dat het een gevoelig punt is, een heel gevoelig thema. We zien ook allemaal die beelden en iedereen is daardoor geraakt. Maar we moeten natuurlijk ook verder kunnen besturen met de problemen die hier nog op ons bord liggen, hier in Vlaanderen. En dat zijn er meer dan genoeg, zeker de komende maand. En dan is het belangrijk dat we dit kunnen achter ons laten, dat we nu weten hoe we willen reageren, welk signaal we willen geven en onder welke vorm.
Sanctions will be placed on far-right Israeli ministers Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich, as well as violent settlers. Belgium will place restrictions on certain weapons exports and ban imports from illegal settlements. And there will also be a review of public procurement policies with Israeli companies. The government will also push to facilitate increased humanitarian aid into Gaza and spend more money to fund the World Food Programme. The issue of abortion is on the European Commission's agenda. As part of a European citizens' initiative, the My Voice, My Choice movement submitted a petition with over 1 million signatures to the institution on Monday. The text calls on the Commission to put forward a proposal for a funding mechanism to guarantee safe and affordable access to voluntary termination of pregnancy. The collective behind the initiative recalls the situation of many women in Europe.
In Europe, 20 million of women do not have access to safe and accessible abortion. This means that women are still dying because of limited access to abortion, and we know that even if abortion is forbidden, women will still find a way to do it, and that's often dangerous. With our initiative, we want to make sure that in Europe, every person will have access to free and safe abortion.
The initiative is a reminder that there are major disparities in Europe. 25 member countries have legalized or decriminalized abortion. The time limit for abortion varies from 10 weeks in Portugal to 24 weeks in the Netherlands. Only Poland and Malta have very restrictive legislation. Warsaw allows abortion in cases of rape or danger to the mother's life. In Malta, the life of the mother and the viability of the fetus are the necessary conditions for abortion. The Commission has until March to decide whether or not to act on the petition. The Commission also stated in a press release that this initiative does not seek to create a European right to abortion.
Liverpool Football Club broke the English transfer record with their latest signing of Newcastle striker Alexander Isak for €145 million. It's the club's fifth major signing in a busy transfer window, which saw them splash out around €480 million, excluding add-ons, a club record. The transfer marks an end to a months-long saga of rumors and behind-the-scenes wrangling on the Swedish international's future. The reigning Premier League champions have also splashed serious cash on other major signings, including Bayer Leverkusen's Florian Wirtz and Jeremy Frimpong. The summer transfer window also broke the spending record for the Premier League, which saw clubs splurge close to €3.5 billion, up from €2.27 billion the previous summer.
その時は何の前触れもなく訪れるかもしれない。
富士山が噴火したらとんでもないことだよと思って、で富士山ってみんな気軽に行ってんですよ。私たちも気軽に登ってるじゃんね。そしてさ、予想されないで噴火なんかされちゃったらえらいこっちゃって思って。
We have to focus on trying to improve the resilience of people around the volcano, and one of the best ways to do that is through education. So this video, although it may seem alarmist, it's kind of trying to reproduce the worst case scenario, prepare for the worst, hope for the best sort of thing. So educating people on what the worst possible scenario is, I think is a fairly good measure to take in terms of trying to improve preparedness. The last eruption from Fuji was in 1707. We don't have any photo or video footage. We don't have any lived memory of that eruption. We only have a painting, for example. Merging that with some AI and giving them this sort of pseudo-realistic depiction of what can actually happen from Fuji in Tokyo, I think is a fairly good use of technology. The ash falling in Tokyo could have a number of different effects. It can close airspace. Japan's obviously also very reliant on a very good train network, so an accumulation of ash along the rail networks would probably halt their sort of transport that way. Ash is basically ground up pieces of volcanic rock that have been blasted apart in the explosion. It's very sharp and jagged. It's essentially a glass. So it can be very disruptive to ears, nose and throats, particularly for anything or anyone with sort of asthma or other respiratory illnesses.
This is the psionic ability hand. It's made for both humans if you're missing a hand or on robots. And I can control it with these two buttons, so I can shake hands with it. We can do different grips with it. We've gone paragliding with it. We've cracked eggs with it. We've flipped pancakes with it, folded laundry. We've done dishes. And so all these household daily tasks, but also more extreme things like flaming board breaking, where we had 3 wooden boards, set it on fire, and we had one of our users punch through it.
The house is the final frontier. I really believe that humanoids will go to space first and then to the houses. Because it's much easier to operate such a machine in a different extraterrestrial environment. The house is the final frontier in the sense that it's so unstructured, so dynamic. It requires dexterous manipulation. It requires a level of skill that only humans have. So for a humanoid system, it is really the holy grail.
Now we have $3, $4, $5 billion circulating within the next 18 months in the humanoid global industry. This means that in 12 months is what we call in the United States make or break. It's either it happens or it doesn't happen. So I think that we're going to see in the next 12 months cracking problem after problem in assembly, in transportation, in moving in logistics,